Welcome to the 2023 SARRC Invitational Challenge. Before you ask, yes, that T3 Miata on the right was pretty painful to be around. That car is shockingly loud. Don't know what that's about, but it's kind of amusing to me watching this video just how loud that car is. Now, I took no video during this whole weekend. If you watch the runoffs video, you know exactly why I was scrambling to get this car back together. I was exhausted and I took no video, so I'm going to give you the setup here as we're watching the opening couple laps here. I'm leading the B-Spec group. I came into this weekend leading in points, but I did have a fight on my hands. The race on Saturday was a normal SARRC race. My competition had a mechanical failure, which was a huge bummer. We were about to have an incredible race. Had a mechanical failure right off the green flag, and he fell back. I took the win from that race. Now what you need to know is this event is a double points event, this race. Now what I did not know is right before I got in the car, it was confirmed elsewhere that it kind of didn't matter what I did, I was going to win the championship. But I didn't know that, and I also wanted to win this race because I lost this race 2 years ago in the most painful fashion ever, and I hated it. I did not want to lose again. So, that's the basic setup. I basically had the championship locked up, but I did not trust that, and I frankly didn't really believe it either. So, the setup for this specific race is there's a silver third-gen fit. If you look in the right-hand mirror there, you can see just barely the nose of that car is poking up here. That guy was surprisingly fast, and we're about to have a hell of a battle. As you can see, I'm moving over to protect the inside for everyone just a little bit here. And if you look in the left-hand mirror, you can see his roof line. He's on it. This dude is on it. I'm not good at roebling at all, but this dude is on it, and he's about to be a big problem for me. Now again, this race had no impact on the SARRC championship. I already had that sealed up, but I just wanted to win this race. I wanted this race. I wanted to win it. I've lost it before. I don't want to do it again. And funny enough, I lost it to that car in the hands of another driver. 2021, I went in with the lead, and he beat me. He just beat me, and I lost the race. Didn't want to do that again. So my job right now is defending my lead. I've got a lead. I've put in a couple laps thinking, let's watch what he does. If he can keep up, then we've got a problem. If he doesn't keep up, we're just going to cruise. And I put in a couple laps that I thought were reasonably good for my experience at this track, and he was right there with me. So we've got a fight on our hands. Your job is to watch the right hand and left hand mirrors. You can just barely see him poke in and out here, but right around in here is where this race really starts. You can see him right on my tail. The draft is huge, and so now I'm gonna try to break that draft. Swerve around a little bit. He's too close. It doesn't work. So now my goal is to protect the inside, keep him from getting up there. And if you watch on this left side, oh, different lap. Just kidding. Not this lap, but he was close enough that I felt the need to protect. So this is where the action really gets started. You can see how he's drawn up to my back bumper. I'm all the way to the right. He darts to the left, and you can watch his nose show up. The draft is everything, and he stayed close enough to strike, and he tried. Here he goes in front of us, and we're going to drive it as deep as we can, but here's the thing. With this track, there is one line, and that line is about a car width wide. He takes it. You see him drive away here, but his line is a little bit off, and I can see already that I'm just reeling him right back in because I was able to get on throttle so much earlier than him, and now I've got the benefit of the draft, so I'm not too worried. We're also super early in the race. We got a long ways to go. So we got to see where our strong points are, where mine are, where his are, and see what's going on. And you can see we're already right back on his tail. So I'm not too worried, but I do want to win this race, and I don't want to let him take it away from me. So what's key here is because the racing line is one car wide, it's crucial to stay on that line. He's running a defensive line because he has to, but that lets me carry a way better line. He can't get in or out of corners, and I can. And this is the result of it right here. I get the draft, I get on throttle earlier than him. All these things work out, and it becomes a game of where do we go? What do we do? So we got the run on him this time, but I promise you it's not over yet. We're pointing by other traffic. This is another thing to contend with. It's way harder to be slower traffic than it is to be faster traffic because, well, you have to manage your mirrors. If you ask around, even in the pro ranks, being in the slower class is way harder than being in the faster class. Because in a way, it's your problem now, not theirs. So there goes another car. This will come into play later on, just as a little bit of foreshadowing for you. So if you're keeping up with your mirrors, we pulled a little bit of a gap, but we really can't rest because we still have all this traffic working their way past us. But if you see in that right-hand mirror, we've got a little bit of a gap to work with, and we're going to try to pull away. This car off was a bit of a hair-raising moment because right before he came on the pavement, you could see him twist a little more sideways. I thought he was going to spin across track and just ruin the whole race. Luckily, he kept it in line and he kept it handled, and away he goes. These are SRF3s. Crazy, crazy cars. They got a bunch of horsepower. They don't weigh anything. They got great suspension. So he's able to handle this pretty easily, obviously. So now that we got a little break from traffic, now that we've got a little break from traffic, we got to turn our attention right back to this other fit. He's on the attack again. I go on the defense again. This time he's a little too far back and he can't really get there. He can't really get a nose on me, and he falls back again. But I know that we have a problem. We're going to have an issue, and I have to stay on my game to stay in front of this guy because he's doing pretty well. And with that draft coming out of the carousel, he's just going to stay with me the whole time, and there's nothing I can do about it. Roadling is quite an interesting challenge, especially in a car like this, because everything is a corner. Everything is a little bit of braking and a little bit of lifting and a smooth turn in, and it's frankly not a well set up front wheel drive car. It doesn't have some of the parts that you would like to have, which makes it kind of a bear to drive here, and I just don't know Roebling that well. Despite growing up there, I just don't know Roebling that well. And I think my inexperience shows in videos like this where it's kind of a tough track to drive in a car like this. So it's a repeat of the same. You can see me exit on the inside. There's enough car left here that turn doesn't stress the car so much that there's enough turn here I can stay to the inside. And here he comes again on the attack once more. There he goes. Same thing again. I really can't hold it and feel safe about it. I don't feel like I can stay that far in without hitting him. He gets away, but because he has to defend and he's on the outside and it's not a very good line, I'm able to immediately kind of get right back up to him again. Especially here because we're both flat to the floor, carrying as much speed as we can through here, and here we are. We're right back in the fight again. So as a driver right here, what I'm learning from this whole situation is even if he gets away, I just need a corner or two to catch right back up again, and that's really important. This lets me stay relaxed, this lets me stay alert, and frankly, it's kind of a fun time because as you watch right here, he gets away, but I'm super confident now that he's not going to get that far out, and he doesn't. Here we are, same situation, albeit a little further back than I'd like to be. I did have a twinge of uh-oh as we came through this lap. But as you'll see with the draft and with his restrictor on these super long pulls, I'm able to pull him right back in again, which is so crucial, like I said, because it makes me super confident in my line and in what I'm doing. And that right there was an extra exciting lap with that white car. I saw him coming up behind us, and I made the decision I can't let this momentum I've got go. I have to move over, but I'm going to stay as close as I can to allow him space to go by on the left. It was pretty funny. I went up and talked to the guy after the race, and he was like, "No, man, I'm just good. No big deal at all. Thanks for leaving me in space." And I was kind of thinking in my head, well, I'm glad that's how you saw it, because I was going to pass that guy no matter what. And if you had to wait, you just had to wait. Sorry, buddy. But these are the things that we're juggling in slower traffic, is trying to decide when do we let them get by, when do I have to protect my race versus let them be free to have their race. It adds a whole dynamic to trying to drive a race car as fast as you can. But in any case, we're right back in the lead now. And this whole situation is going to play out lap after lap after lap as this traffic continues to work through us. So here we go, right back to the inside, just to give us got a little bit of trouble. At this point, you notice that every time we cross the line, I'm in front. I'm leading every time we cross the line, and that's really all that matters. He can be next to me all he wants to. He can lead all through here all he wants to. I'm in front when we cross the line, and that's the important part. So right there, I could have stayed with him, and I did for a little bit. I saw that the speeds were dropping, and I was super used to the laps before where I caught him right about here. And so now things are hairy. I stuck my ground, and I don't think it was the right answer because, look, here we're able to stay with him in almost any situation. So I think I should have just let him go. I think I should have just let him go, but it's kind of here nor there. We get here, and again, he runs a defensive line because he has to. He doesn't have a choice. I'm too close. He can't leave it open. And because of that, he gets a bad run out. It's a real bad run out. Gives me a stellar run. And now we're able to use this traffic to our advantage for once. He can't move over to block me, and so I can just cruise right up the inside. No big deal. No problem. And here we are crossing the line in the lead once again. Here I am trying to break that draft, just trying to break it up every little bit I can. In retrospect, I don't think it does a single thing. I don't think it's any problem at all for that guy, but you gotta try stuff. You gotta try stuff so you can feel good about your efforts, you know? So somewhere in here, it becomes a balance. You have to strike a balance between, right now I want to be super reliable. I have proven that we can be exactly where we need to be when we need to be there. So all I need to do is find my rhythm, hit my marks, stay reliable, and put laps in. That's what we need to do, especially with stuff like this happening with that guy spinning ahead of us like that. That's twice now we've had a spec wrecker do some funky stuff in front of us. It's a balance. I need to go fast, I need to keep my speed, but I also need to stay reliable. If you start trying stuff and you start shooting for the moon, you start making mistakes and you start going off and you start losing the race, and that's what we can't have. At this point, I'm super happy to let that guy go because I know I can stay with him. I'm super confident in my line. You can see the difference in speeds here. His entry speed is higher, but look at how much lower his exit speed is. Because he's defending, he's offline, and I am able to stay online, and that's so, so crucial. You see where he enters the corner on the right, and he slides out? His entry speed's higher than mine, but his exit speed is way, way lower. And he's defending because he has to. I'm taking all of his choices away. He has to defend. I'm too close, and this is the result. This line choice goes for all tracks that anyone will ever race, but it goes double here at Roebling because the racing line is one car wide, and if you're off of that one car width line, it's bad news bears all the way around. So at this point, you can see I've got this head of steam, but I know he's going to be playing a game, so which direction is he going to go? He brakes right to protect, I brake left. I've got such a head of steam from the draft. This car makes great top end, and I got a great exit. All these three stack up to where I'm able to get completely by him before we get into the braking zone. Now, here's where things are about to get really, really interesting. I want you to watch that right side mirror super closely. You can see where he is. He's very, very close to me. The leaders, the overall leaders are about to come by us. There's going to be an orange spec record right there. Now keep watching that right side mirror because here comes a T4 Miata. And you can just see right there, you can just see that silver fit leave the track. There's a huge gaggle of cars that are about to come by. There's one entering on the left right now. There's a huge gaggle of cars. It's a mess. It's so hard to work your way through. This mess caught him in a terrible place, and he ended up dropping two tires, driver's left on the outside of the corner, and that dragged him off. I looked in the rearview mirror. Oh, by the way, Ron Mutterland is a buddy. And here comes Ron Giordano. I was waving at him because I felt kind of bad because I kind of got between he and Ron. There's the point buy for this insanely loud T3 car. And this is really, honestly, there's another one that just keep coming out of nowhere. This huge gaggle of cars created a giant mess. And that guy, he ran off. He ran off track. It dragged him off. And I had to put in some laps. He got back on track and was going as fast as me, so I couldn't relax. I thought I could. I'm desperately on the radio calling, saying, where is he, what's going on? He was really too far back to be a worry, but I couldn't relax. So I drove the rest of the race on my toes, and I took the win, and I took the championship. So as we come to the checkered flag, you guys know the deal. You know what it's going to look like. I'm going to shut up and just celebrate with me for a lap. So, as I so elegantly put it there, I am the 2023 B-Spec SARRC champion. My first SARRC championship. I lost it 2 years ago in an ugly fashion. I was able to come back. Good little car. Good little car. Gosh, it's such a special moment. It's such a special win, especially after the way runoffs went. This means a lot. It means a lot to me as a driver. It means a lot to my whole family. This is what we've grown up doing. It means a lot to everyone involved. This was a very, very special win. It's still kind of hard to get through. It was also an emotional one. I worked so hard on the car to get it back together after what happened at runoffs, and this is the perfect way to end the season. Swept the weekend, took the SARRC championship, took the big win, and because of all that, I get to do a victory lap. I've never done a victory lap before. It was so fun. I pulled down pit lane, I grabbed my checkered flag, and off we go. You guys celebrate with me for one more lap. Let me tell you something. What I was not prepared for is how heavy that flag got at around 45, 50 miles per hour. I thought I was going to rip my arm off. It's really hard to hold that thing up. My buddies were celebrating in the start stand. My friend, who I gave the big old middle finger to right here, it's a good buddy of mine, a little celebratory burnout. And there's a bunch of funny things that are happening all at once as I'm realizing that all of my gesticulating, the flag has wrapped itself around itself a bunch of times. So now I have to drive with my knee and try to unwind it because I am not going to blow this victory lap. This whole win was so special. It was such an incredible season. I'm going to celebrate with this flag. And it didn't feel right to just hold the flag still, so we're going to fly this flag like crazy. I've got my team on the radio that I keep trying to talk to one-handed. I could barely speak. I really couldn't eke a noise out anymore. This was a good one. This is a really good one. My arm gets tired, so I have to switch arms. All these things you don't really think about. No one tells you this stuff. But it's real. It's real. What an incredible win. So as we bring it into pit lane for the last time in 2023, and for the first time as a SARRC champion, this season has been incredible. I won a Super Tour. I podiumed at 3 of them this season. It's been incredible. I need to thank Fastest Skunk Racing for their support. I have to thank Racing for ALS, not only for the support they gave me, but the support that they give the ALS community. The work they do is incredible. Links are in the description. Please go read the story, get to the site, read the story, and consider donating. They're doing really important stuff, far more important than what I'm doing in this video right here. I have to thank my wife. The support I get from her is incredible, obviously. The support from my family and friends. This has been such a special season. Y'all, 12 races, 10 podiums, and 8 wins. I couldn't dream of a season this good. It's been incredibly special. I feel unbelievably lucky. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do in the off season, but I want to thank you for watching. I have so much fun with these videos, and I hope you like watching them. In any case, tell me what you thought about this, comment, and please subscribe as well. I'll see you guys in the shop.